Courtney Davidson, and I'm a world-known diversity inclusion expert. As many of you know, I travel all over the world conducting diversity audits on Fortune 500 companies to ensure that there's no discrimination in the workplace. On today's episode of Bias Busters, I'll be looking at Marsh & McLennan in Somerset, New Jersey. So let's take a look at their history. Marsh & McLennan is a global professional services firm offering clients advice and solutions in areas of risk, strategy, and people. It was founded in 1871 by 4 wealthy, educated white males. The current CEO is Daniel S. Glazer. Today, the company has grown to over 54,000 employees. According to their website, Marsh & McLennan seeks talent regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, age, physical ability, or faith. They go on to say that they recruit members of diverse communities wherever they do business and actively support these communities. Marsh & McLennan values people of promise and character above all else. So doing what I do best, I decided to do some of my own research and dig even deeper into this company. Surprisingly, even though this company seemed like it promoted diversity and minority management, I found that the top board of directors consisted of 9 white males, only 1 black male, and only 3 white females. In addition, their executive committee also consisted of 8 white males and only 1 white female. Obviously, there is a glass ceiling for women or adverse impact for minorities since white males are occupying the majority of the top positions. As many of you know, each time I audit a company for diversity inclusion, I use the following criteria. 1. Does the company violate any laws set in place by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission? 2. Does the company represent a wide range of ethnicities, ages, sexual orientations, genders, religious faiths, veterans, and individuals with disabilities? 3. Does the company have any diversity inclusion training programs? And are the employees educated about diversity? And finally, 4. Is the company active in seeking, recruiting, and retaining diverse employees? So on their website, Marsh & McLennan has done a great job of presenting themselves as a very diversity-inclusive company. However, I wanted to go in and meet with some of the employees myself. First, I met with Peggy, who's the HR director there. This is what she said.
As the HR director here at Marsh & McLennan, diversity and inclusion is certainly an important aspect for me, but unfortunately can serve as quite the challenge. Here at our current branch, we have about a 60% female ratio to a 40% male ratio. Only 10% being minority, unfortunately, and the rest of the remaining employee population being of white race. We've certainly been striving to include more veterans and disabled individuals within our workforce. We've actually been using an online recruitment program called Talea to meet those individuals. I must admit, unfortunately, that working with our CEO can be quite the challenge because he is very old-fashioned and very conservative. And because he's the CEO, at the end of the day, his decision goes, and it's hard for me to override that. And I also have a lot going on being the director. There's a lot of training sessions that are mandatory in order to get the job requirements done at the end of the day. So diversity, unfortunately, has not made the top of my list.
So speaking with Peggy, the HR director, was very helpful. But now I wanted to get some insight on what some of the other employees in the company thought about diversity. So can you comment on the diversity in the workplace here?
The executives are mostly male, but work here is mostly women. I feel like I definitely can move up pretty easily in the workplace here. Women seem to be over emotional under many subjects and aspects of the workplace here, so that'll hinder them from moving up. It's kind of like the buddy system here, so my male manager seems to like me a lot, so I think I'll be able to move up pretty quickly. My boss is a woman, and she seems to be over emotional about a lot of things, and I don't think she handles the issues very well, and I think that a male boss in her situation would be more better.
So if the roles were reversed and you had a male boss instead of a woman, do you think that he would still be seen as over-emotional, or do you think he would be seen as more competent and strong because of his reaction?
If a female is yelling, it's seen as overly emotional. If a male is yelling, it's seen as he's strong and he's in control of the situation.
So can you tell me about your perception of the diversity here at this organization?
Yeah, so mostly in this location, it's mostly whites. I'm the only Asian here, I think. But I'm sure in other locations, there's plenty of other minorities present.
So tell me how it is being a female account manager.
So I deal with accounts and some of them are really important, but with some clients, they advise me to bring a man with me. They're old-fashioned and think that men just do sales better. Especially here, I mean, all the males are in sales and they dominate that field. And sales, I guess, make the most money because they have a base salary and they also make commission. I'm not sure why, but it just seems like just the males always do that and the females do other jobs.
So overall, how do you like it here?
I love it here, yeah, it's great. Compared to my old jobs, this is definitely better. I feel really comfortable and included here. They have LGBT groups and have you seen the handbook? I mean, they include all minorities and let us know about different holidays too. Overall, I just give this company an A on diversity. I'm really happy here and I think they do a great job here.
That's awesome. Good to hear. So Kevin, tell me more about yourself.
Well, I'm a CPCU. I work with healthcare. I've been here for 8 years and I'm a third generation American.
All right. So can you comment on the diversity here at Marsh & McLennan?
I would say it's a mostly diverse workplace. Not emphasized as much as the other places I've worked at in the past. We have one black person, one Indian, and one lesbian. I have to say, when I found out she was lesbian, I was shocked. I had no idea. Definitely mostly white women here.
So do you think that diversity or lack thereof affects the productivity of the company here?
I think diversity is fine as long as it serves the clients well. There's 4 elements to a good employee here, and I think that's if you're smart, you work hard, you're ambitious, and you're nice, you're going to succeed in the company no matter what.
Very true. After speaking with the employees, it's evident that Marsh & McLennan as a whole is doing a great job of promoting diversity. However, they still need to make sure that each individual branch is consistent with one another and on the same page. As Peggy mentioned, it's not on the top of her priority list right now, even though she admitted that it should be. So it was definitely nice to see that there were so many women in the higher up positions at the Somerset location that I visited. However, it is still important to note that there was definitely sex segregation when it came to the positions. For example, men were in the sales jobs, which tend to make more money, and the women were in the insurance jobs. Although there is no evidence of a sticky floor, there definitely may be a glass ceiling when it comes to women or other minorities trying to advance past a certain point. For example, Linda Coleman is the COO of the Somerset location. However, sadly, it is highly unlikely that she will ever become the CEO of the entire company. It was also very interesting to talk to each of the employees and get their opinions on the company and its diversity programs. First, we had Nick, who was very confident in his ability to advance in the company, even though he's only been there for 3.5 months. He also commented that the reason that women aren't advancing is because they're over-emotional. Then we had Mina, who was very happy with the company, and she was just saying that she would give them an A and that it was better than other companies, which was really interesting to see. On the other hand, Kevin thought that Marsh & McLennan could do more in terms of diversity as opposed to other companies that he's worked with in the past. Kevin said is that he explained that when he found out that one of his coworkers was a lesbian, that he was shocked, which although he was accepting of minorities and diverse people that he's worked with, it shows that he still has some underlying stereotypes that maybe he didn't even realize were there in the first place. Overall, I give Marsh & McLennan a solid B for diversity. Let's look at my criteria. They did not break any laws. They are attempting to educate their employees about the need for diversity through the use of diversity handbooks, and they are trying to actively recruit minorities by using the Talea program. My only criticisms of that would just be it's mainly focusing on veterans, and while that is great, they definitely should just try to take it a step further and incorporate minorities of all different kinds. The only criterion that I feel that they are really lacking was number 2, which was that they didn't necessarily represent a wide range of minorities in the company. They're definitely on the right track, but they still have a long way to go. So, great job, Marsh & McLennan. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Vibe Clusters, and make sure you stay tuned for next week, where I'll be cracking down on the infamous Walmart once again. Like I always say, diversity is the smartest business strategy.